understand what this is, how it started, where it comes from, and stuff like that. So is it okay we start the presentation now? Few people are joining, so let me get them in. So let's start that then. We all know about chakras, right? We hear about it here and there. What are the chakras? Chakras are basically energy points, or call it stations, right? Main stations, where the energy get blocked. And then it's not the 7 chakras are the only blockages or only the energy points in our body. They further divide into 108. And that's why when you look at any rosary from any religion you follow, or any faith you follow, let it be the Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, Hinduism, Buddhism. One thing is for sure that, one thing is consensus is that 108 chakras. So these 7 chakras divide into 108 chakras. So why 108? Because these are the substations. And if you look at the diameter of the moon to the sun, or moon to the earth and earth to the sun, or the distance between the moon to the earth and earth to the sun is 108. This 108 plays if you're a mathematician, you can find this composition of 108 in a lot of structures. Even when we build temples or mosques, 108 constantly repeat there. But then it further divides into further points. So in Atharva, this is a Veda, very ancient, almost 5,000 or 7,000 years old, maybe more than that. It goes to 4,673 chakras. So it starts from 7, goes to 108, and further divide to 4,673. So as per, from the spirituality perspective, our body, our sthula, or the physical body gets sick later, but before, the suksham sharira, the subtle body, gets sick. And the sickness is because there's no flow of energy. We can call it chi, we can call prana, we call healing energy, or we can call it voltage, whatever you want to call it. This energy is not flowing in the body, and then it creates a lot of issues, right from mental to physical to emotional, you name it. So all diseases are lack of benevolent energy. Benevolent means, if I use the word Urdu, it will be meherban, or if you use Hindi word, it's called kripalu, dayalu, which is basically this life is given to you to live, and this energy has to flow. And when this beloved energy or benevolent energy is not flowing, it creates these diseases. Diseases, if you look at, the ease has been gone away, so that's why dis-ease. So we have to remove the dis, so come to the ease. And to do that, we need to have a certain mechanism for us to enable to move the energy. So what is this energy called? Why this energy is important, and why we want to use it? The key here is that every cell in our body need to regenerate and rebuild itself. The question is, we know all those things, that it is rebuilt, and we also have studied, if you have studied in biology, mitochondria are the powerhouses of rebuilding the energy. But the question doesn't go far than that, how mitochondria build those energies. So that's what we need to try to understand. So this is just from a biology book, is a cell membrane. And then when you have a battery, it is, what is a battery? It stores the voltage or stores the energy in it. And then it discharges it when we use it. So that's why we throw them or recharge them and reuse it again. So our physical body runs on energy, and it needs a battery or it needs a voltage to run it. And the way we use the words in our normal languages, we call it antioxidants. So antioxidants are similar as electron flow. It flows through the acupuncture channels. It can be stored, same electrons in the battery as its body, and used for cellular process of ATP. So basically, sugar and fructose has been used to build the energy, and this is where we need that. So when you say, I really need to eat antioxidants, or when I eat blueberries or blackberries, they have a lot of antioxidants, right, in there. Or even in the coffee, there's a lot of antioxidants. What we are trying to do is these antioxidants charges our body, so the electricity, the electrons can flow in our body. That's the key here. So if that's important, by eating tablets, you're not going to get everything in the body, right? So single source of healing process. When somebody says, I'm going to heal you, I'm going to help you, so as a physician or as a engineer, I need to translate that word into a means that, what really it means. So from my perspective, the way it means is that, we need to be able to give something. If you want to heal somebody, you have to give something. And what that giving is, that's basically free electrons. So the reason we start aging, we start getting diseases is, one of the things is that our cells are not able to do the things what it's supposed to do, and it starts fracturing, and it starts not able to reproduce, and the DNA starts withering. It's just stop reproducing exactly the way it is, and that's why the aging starts. So when we age, some people age really fast, others age slowly, and aging is a process, but it's not the ability to create exactly the same copy as before. And then the aging starts. Aging is, you can age, but you can still be healthy. Think about that way, right? But if the DNA start breaking too fast, then you start having other very diseases, which makes your life sort of miserable to live. So our blood takes 4 months, our skin needs 4 weeks. So everything in our body is changing, rebuilding. So to rebuild something, you need a precursor, and you need electron flows or electricity or prana in the body to build it properly. So like when we look at the nerves, it takes 8 to 24 months. It takes, the longest is the nerves. And that's why, what we are seeing, people who take mental help or something, they give up very easily after a month or 2 months or 3 months, but they don't realize the treatment you're taking has to exceed 2 years to have an effect on it, because the nerves takes that long time. And this is a actual time based on the research. So if you just work for 6 months and then stop it and say it's not working, of course it's not going to work, because the reprint or the reconfigure has to take at least 2 years to build it. Said that, our body takes every organ, every bone, every part of skin, certain time. So here it is telling, if something takes internal intestines, takes 16 years to rebuild. Fingernails grows 0.1 millimeter every day. So there's a different data here. So your blood takes 120 days to rebuild. So if you look at if you start something today and start changing, if you want to do the blood test, you should at least wait for 4 months, because whatever you're trying to do, it will at least takes 4 months to get rid of the old blood, and the new blood has to be been processed. And blood contains EMF, electromagnetic force, so it has a magnetic nature to it. So we have to be patient. We need to understand how long it takes for us to rebuild, reconfigure, and so things. So don't give up too easily. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. This Eastern medicines takes a little bit time, but it goes to the root cause and removes it. It fixes it. It's not like a Western medicine where it numbs it. So your body is a battery. So if your body is a battery, then the two questions will come. Where the electricity comes from, and the second is how the electricity flows in the body, and the third question you can ask is that how this electricity is produced inside the body, right? So when you look at the Earth is a planet where a lot of thunderbolts, electricity, like clouds, a lot of thunderbolts happen. This is huge, humongous amount of voltage is been pushed inside the Earth. If there were no cloud, there were no rains, there won't be any life on the Earth, because it needs the pranic energy, the chi, the life force to build these things. All the plants, all the animals, human being, we need that energy to build. But then this energy start respirating into our body. So if somebody lives on the 20th floor or 30th floor, you will find that person to be sick. The reason that person would be sick is because he's not in touch with the Earth. So I'm not saying don't live upstairs. If you live there, then you have to go for a walk into the forest or touch ground. A certain time you have to spend to earth yourself to the Mother Earth. The channels, this is where acupuncture comes into it. Acupuncture has created a channels. Every organ has a channel. There are certain points on the body. This is what you learn for 5 years studying in the university. And you know exactly where those points are being stuck, so you can actually put a needle. So when we put a pin or a needle inside on your skin, first of all, we have to understand the skin has the highest resistance in the body. If we don't have skin, we will lose all our energy. So we also lose it from teeth too, right? So a lot of people have broken teeth or rotten teeth, or they have pulled the teeth out, but they have not properly sealed it. So energy leaks from there. If you have a large scars on the body, then it leaks from there. So anywhere there is a crack or fracture in your body, we have to look at it to make sure that the energy is not leaking. It's been properly insulated. Said that, when you put a needle, acupuncture needle in your skin, let me see if I have the picture here. Yeah, so let's look at this one. If we put a needle into the body, it opens the resistance. And what resistance, I'll explain it to you, which applies to the muscle and go to the fascia, and the energy starts flowing. When the energy starts flowing, our spine is basically an extension of the brain. It starts charging or delivering the energy to rebuild your organs. So this is where the acupuncture needles comes into place. Why we do it? Because we want to open those channels. We want to let the electricity flow. Inside the body, we have muscles, right? So when you go for exercise or walk or something, it creates a piezoelectricity. The muscles, when they rub with each other, it's a sort of a recharging battery. So people who go for walk or who do yoga or exercises or do some physical work where you sweat, actually, it really recharges your battery. So it takes your mental illness, your body aches away from that perspective. So you need to get the energy from the earth. You need to get the energy to create inside your body to using your muscles. So muscles are connected with fascia. So some of you may not know what fascia is. If you think this is like a highway, this is where the most of the energy flows back and up, and we call it fascia in the medical terms. What is a fascia? Fascia is basically a wiring which actually let the electricity flow. These are inside the muscles. They're surrounded with the muscles. So if you look at tabulates right here, so if this is a fascia, just the nerve fibers are right here. Think about, your cable, how they are. Our human body is created like that. And these nerves actually let the electricity flow back and forth. So if you think about these things are the conductors or the copper wires or the fibers or glass fibers of the cable, which let the electricity flow, but it's been surrounded by a lot of insulation. And at the end, there's a skin insulation around it. So when we put a needle in, we don't go to the depth, we just open a little bit here, and then the electricity knows how to flow and get there. And these nerves are sort of, its nature is like crystals. So this is what we need to understand, why these nerves or this fibers of the neurons or nerve cells acts like a copper or a glass fiber, but nature is like crystalline. So if you really look at the makeup of the nerves, it's basically carbon, nitrogen, iron, magnesium. So it has all those things, activities. If you really look at those things, so these are crystals, and crystals knows how to vibrate, at what frequency it has to vibrate. So this is where my teacher from Germany, we were talking to him, I say, if the nerves act as a fibers or a copper wire, and it has a frequency to vibrate, then if we know that a certain frequency which works to heal, we can actually deploy a needle and provide that right electricity, right frequency, right voltage to the nerves, so the nerves can heal. So this is basically what happens. So you have seen these kids touching the electric balls here, and their hairs rise up. You have seen that. What is happening is, in this dome is electrically charged. The electricity flowing through the fascia, right, which is the nerve fibers, and it actually doesn't have any other place to go, and then it raises your hairs, or you get electric shock from a curtain or something. This happens because your body has the electricity conductivity. And acupuncture, electric acupuncture, is a way to help you to heal through using the electricity and acupuncture too. I hope this is making sense. You can ask question if you like. So life is energy and voltage drives it, right? So if you've been into medical school, or if you're taking biology at the 101 class or in grade 12, we always talk about mitochondria. The inner side of the mitochondria is just like a bean, right? Kidney bean. The shape is like that. And basically transformation of the phosphate happens, and the ATP has been created using glycogen. So let's say in normal terms, sugar has been used to create the energy, but it's an opening and a closing of the membranes that the electricity flows. It's very similar to the normal electricity flows where the electrons has to flow, but this is a biological electricity. It's not a, but the nature is exactly like the same thing. So what that means in normal terms. So think this is a pipe here. Voltage, there's amp, current. Voltage is potential difference. Ohms is resistance. So when we get sick or something, our resistance increases, ohmage increases. So the current cannot flow. The current means electricity, or the prana or the chi is not able to flow. And the voltage has the ability to push it. Voltage has the ability to push it. Amps is the electricity of your life you live on. Resistance stops it. So if you look as a physician, what you do is then you say, okay, if this is the issue, the problem is the resistance. So how I can open this one so the current can flow, the energy can flow, the prana will flow. So what I need somehow to remove the resistance, and I need to provide the voltage. Does that make sense? If I have the voltage and I remove the resistance, the current will flow, the prana will flow. And this is what electroacupuncture is all based on. So if you look at skin, I talked about skin has highest resistance. And what we are doing is we are mixing two things, right? We know how the neurology works from the modern science. We understand acupuncture, which is 5,000 years old. If we superlay things on each other, then we exactly know which points need to be triggered to remove the disease. So the needles are being applied here. which removes the resistance, right? Ohmage has to be removed. When that opens the ability for the current to flow through the muscle, to the fascia, which is a conductor, and it flows through the electricity. So one way is I just put a needle, then the earth has a lot of high voltage potential. So the potential of the earth start flowing into your body. But in case you need lot of voltage for you to heal yourself, then we can apply electric plugs here, and we can give you a certain frequency, and I'll walk you through what those frequencies are to help us to heal. Our body consists of organs. If one of the organ goes off, it impacts the other organ. That's where the disease comes. So if we proactively keep our organs safe, able to function properly, then the disease doesn't come. So when we pray, our hands get charged too, right? So if you look at a human battery, muscles are piezoelectric rechargeable battery. Fascia and epidermal fibrous tissues is a wiring system. So I talked about fascia, that's a wiring system. Left palm is negative. Don't think negative as really negative. It's actually positive because it has ability to give. It has more. When you have more, you can give. And the right palm is positive, electron receiver. So receiver is basically lacks the electrons in your body, or the prana in your body, or the chi in your body. So if your body doesn't have proper chi, it will start defunctioning. And the current flow is similar to direct current. So people who doesn't know, there are two types of current: alternating current and direct current. Alternating current changes its phases. So this electricity in our home and all those things are AC. But the electricity produced by batteries or your flashlight, they are DC. They flow in one way. And we have all the channels, acupuncture channels, flow in one direction. And it loops, it keeps going back and forth, but then there is a blockage happens, so that we need to open it. So your heart is the organ which creates the maximum EMF, electromagnetic force. So it's been surrounded by pericardium. It's like a jelly which protects your heart, so your heart doesn't get infection. And triple energizer, which is your hip area. The reason hip area is important is because this is where the main organs are, like gallbladder, liver, spleen, stomach, kidney, bladders, and all those things. And then basically what they say is this: all organs are connected to the spine, and spine is connected to the nerves, and nerves are connected to the organ. So the human heart magnetic field can be measured several fields away from your body. If you put a electromagnetic measurement tool, it can measure it. It can also see, what type of emotions you're pushing out, your negative emotion, your positive emotions, and it boosts your immunity system. So if you are mentally not safe, you're not centered, you're not in the condition of love and care and compassion, then actually you're damaging your immune system. Taking vitamin D's and C's is not going to help you much if you're not emotionally stable. In fetal development, the heart forms and start beating before the brain begins to develop. So the heart is more important than the brain. And positively create a physical benefit in your body. That's why, you need to learn to meditate. You have to be in devotion, you caring, compassionate. It's not for others, it's for yourself. If you're not into that mode, then you will suffer. So that's why, every faith, every religion teaches us not to be mean, not to be self-centered, not to be, you need to be caring and loving, because it really helps you. It really helps your body. It helps your mind. And ultimately, people don't believe in faith or God, but it heals your soul, So this journey becomes smooth for you. So let's look at, you have heard about pH, right? 0 to 7 to 14. 7 is neutral. But as from the physics perspective, or from electronics engineering perspective, 0 is minus 40 millivolts. We can measure it actually. A person has to be really dead to have a pH of 0, right? So, but say if we look, we put 2 electrodes on it and we find it, it will be minus 400 millivolts. 7 will be 0, and nobody should be actually alkaline. 14%, 14 is like too high. Then your body may not function. But the maximum is plus 400 millivolts. So something has to be in the center. So you can 6 to 7 or 8. That is the normal thing. So if your pH is basic, your body becomes very acidic. And if you are above 7, then you start body becoming alkaline, and in alkaline body, the cancer doesn't come, right? So we have to stay a little bit on the alkaline side, not on the acidic side. If you're on the acidic side, 0 to 7, if you say you are 2 or 3 or 4, then it causes damage. It creates a free radicals and basically electron stealer, right? So you will have dullness, you have a frustration, you have anxiety, you have a depression. All those things start coming when your voltage drops, goes to minus 200 to minus 300 millivolts. And on the opposite side, if you are above 7 or you are at around 300 millivolts or 250 millivolts, your body starts creating antioxidant. You need not to go and buy the antioxidant tablets. Your body has the ability to create it, and it start creating donors. So then if your liver is damaged, it will start sending that the antioxidant or the electricity or the current to that point to heal itself. So you have seen some people who go to dargah or mosque or temples and gurdwaras. When they go there, their body heals by themselves. And people say, oh, this is a miracle. It's not really a miracle. What is happening is your alkaline nature is increasing because you are in devotion, and you start creating electricity flow into your body. When you do meditation or prayer, your body start giving electrons, and your organs start healing. So your cancer goes away, your problems goes away. So it's very important to understand from both perspective, as a pH perspective, but as a voltage, but as an electronic engineer, I can measure your electricity. I can tell you where you are, what the issue is, and how we can help you to move forward from that perspective. So just a little bit understanding on, when we are a new cell to be recovered, when you say a new baby has been born, right? Their pH level, if you really look at it, it's from 6.48 to 7.88, right? There's not much difference. But even a little bit change creates a huge shift in your health and well-being. So a new baby has been born. If I measure, it has a minus 50 volt. It's a positive, but the voltage will be minus because it is an electric donor, minus 50 volts. If you look at the cell pH, it will be 7.88. If a new baby is born, this would be the pH level of that person. A kid running around, 3 years, 4 years old, will have because they have a lot of energy, right? Kids has a lot of energy. Then the pH will be 7.61, but if I measure their millivoltage, it will be minus 35. A normal adult, like a young man, 40, 50 years old, will have 6.44 minus 25. See how only a little bit changes here, but the voltage changes more. So it gives a better magnified mechanisms to trace your disease or issues where you are, so we can really fix that from that perspective. And if you are tired, right? So say you worked whole day, 8 hours, 9 hours, and you're tired, your pH is going up 7.69, and your voltage donation is going down minus 15 volts, and you touch minus 10 millivolts, you will be sick. So when we get a flu or all those things, people I have tested and checked, they are around minus 9 to minus 11 voltage at the time. So this really coordinates. This has been done research. Their research papers have been published. And when you go at change polarity at the 7, the polarity starts changing. And now you're getting into disease area once it starts dropping from 7. So you start having plus 5 before it's minus 5, plus 5. Now you're approaching disease begins. And if you go to 6.48, which is plus 30 millivolts, cancer will happen in your body. So the learning from this is that the pH, you take it and you pee on it, or you take a swipe on the tongue, doesn't really tell you the depth, and there's no real measurements available because it's a color, right? It has a subjective nature into it. But when we measure the cell voltage, it's absolute objective in nature, and we can measure to the point 3 points after the decimal. So this really helps us to first magnify and then get the accurate and precise numbers, so we can help you and deal with what the issues in the body are. If you're not even sick, say you start hitting -5, and we found that you're at -5, what we want to do is we want to electrically charge you to move it upward, not to go downward, right? Because if you don't take care of yourself, you will get sick, you will have your organs start giving problem, hypertension, diabetes, all those things will start happening. And then it will go to critical, like arteries will start jamming, heart attacks, cancers, all this will start at the +30 volt charge. Just a check back. Is that making sense to everyone? If you can say in the chat session yes or no. Or you can say yes. Are you able to hear me, or I'm just talking to myself? Okay, let me see. Yes, okay, thank you. So this is actual data, and this data is from Howard University Medical Hospital. So you look at the before and after. So say you have a friend who has high cholesterol, and their arteries are blocked for 10 or 20% or 30% or 40%. In this case, the cholesterol is really high and the arteries are 60% blocked. So when we take the MRI of the cells level, this is what the image comes out. And then we apply 200 hertz electric current, give them every alternative day for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you see the cells are separated, right? So the blockage has gone away. Why? Because, so think about the way we are talking here. This clotting is happening because the outer cell negative charges have gone away and they become positive, right? So one has become positive, another has become negative. So they start attracting, because opposite charges attract each other, right? When the opposite charges attract each other, this is what the clotting is in the arteries. And we applied electric current to the blood level. And this electricity energy is going to each cell level, and its electric charge is increasing. So they start opening up. So if anybody in your family who is prone to heart attack, who's prone to artery issues, they should take at least a monthly electric charge so they don't get heart attack, right? From that perspective. So same thing, the second one is the cancer cells. And the third one is basically this person has arthritis. So, the pain in the knees and all those things. So we start charging it. So this is 40 minutes of grounding is required. That's all it is. And then the things start changing. And this has been proven. This is a research has there. It's not just saying things. These are being published properly, and we are saving a lot of patients are coming to us right now. We are I don't want to disclose the name. The arteries are almost 40-50% blocked, and we start giving electric charges, and they were supposed to go to get another, because in Canada they don't treat you unless you cross 60 or 70% of blockages. So they let you build, and they went back, and then there was no blockages because they took treatment for 2 or 3 months. But again, if you're prone to cancer, or if somebody has cancer in your family, or you had a cancer and you don't want that cancer to have, then you have to take electroacupuncture to safeguard yourself. There's no other way around it. No antioxidants will go to that level. No other treatment will go at level. It's a electrical discharge, and electrical charge has to be provided. The first patient who actually recovered from AIDS was by Dr. Robert Himmer. He's a German scientist and a MD. What he did was he doesn't know acupuncture or anything, but he took the blood out of the patient, He provided the electric charge. He has published a book, Voltage as a Medicine. This is all started after that when he did that one. It is almost 50 years back. And when he pushed the blood back into the body, electrically charged, the patient was recovered from AIDS. So now one of the treatments is to electromedicine for AIDS and HIV. It also applies to hepatitis B and C and all those things, other diseases too. So the way we do here, this is an FDA-approved machine. So let me walk you through. We measure, we diagnose what is the electricity level at your body at each organ is. We can build that report. Your ears, your feet, and your hand are holograms too. So say if somebody comes to me and the acupuncture point is on the arm, but the arm has been mutated because of the diabetes, that means that I should not be able to give the treatment to that person? No, I have those points on the ears too, right? So we can apply those points, electricity to that points to seduce and improve, and the sort of the electricity can flow from that perspective. We have another machine. This is also FDA approved. It does the seduction point. So say I have stomach 36 point. We know theoretically what it is, but this will go and find the exact point in your body because every body is different. So I can provide the needle and put the electric current on it, which will go hit to the right point to get the things done. So these both are being approved by FDA United States and Health Canada. And the third is, this is a traditional, what we do is we provide the needles, we put the little bit electrocurrent you must have taken if you've gone to acupuncturist. And the key here is these acupuncturists doesn't really know what frequencies to use. They use very standard, you just put it and they put the electric current is going there. But being a electronics engineer and electrical engineer, we know exactly what frequency and what voltage we need to put to heal certain diseases. So this is where we create the difference for you, right? So this is what it is. Second is, so what we create is we create a full report. So let me see if I can share a report so you will know how this thing works. I will share somebody who I know. So report comes like this. Each organ, either they are off balance or in the balance, or there's a split, like they're not balanced from that perspective. So, these are the organs here. Then we look at, what are the pairing, what is impacting which thing. And then from a 5 elements, what is in excessive, what is low, what is high, and what is causing it, right? So in this case, if you really look at it, the gallbladder is okay, but the liver is being, liver's sentiments are really high up here. The heart is split, and each comes with the number points to it. So this also ties to the Asian wisdom, but actually measure using a FDA-approved electromagnetism ways to measure these things. And then it tells us, what the energy levels are, where the issues are, which metaphysics we use, like earth elements, the metal elements, the fire elements, right? What is imbalancing and which organs are imbalanced? The water elements are like bladder and kidney. Fire elements are pericardium and triple energizer. Wood elements are gallbladder and liver, right? From that perspective. So it's created a histogram, but this histogram is also created with the time. So in this person, we treated this person, I will show you, she was very happy. Her liver and lung and stomach and kidney we need to work on. But what then I ask them is, what you do, what happens to you from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the night? And the patients say, I cannot sleep, or I sweat, or whatever the conditions are. We check what happens that hour. Are you stressed out, or what is causing this thing? So it's not the medicine, but it's also changing the habit, how you live, how you take care, how you breathe, and all this thing has to be aligned from that perspective. Doing this thing, whole thing becomes a ratio. Either it's a yin or yang, or your energy. Can you sustain your energy where you are from that perspective? And then we give them a score of 100. This patient at 36. Now it's just improved substantially, but for us as physician, we need to really work on her large intestine. That is the key issue here. We need to handle. She may come with saying, I have a headache, but the headache is causing because the large intestine has a stagnation of food in, which is raising gas, it's creating heat, which is rising to the head. That's why this person is having headaches. It's not like they have got the MRIs done. There's no issues in the head. The issue is not the head. The issue is the large intestine. This is where the Western medicine is not able to trace out. So what we do is on a monthly basis, we increase the score from that perspective, but then also look at, what this cause is happening to the spine. The reason spine, people who miss, we have recording, we'll share with you, but we explained that there's certain organs create inflammation on the spine. So in this case, the lung, the heart, the spleen, and the lung is causing the issue. So if we treat the lung and the spleen, this inflammation and the T2 and T4 will go away. So people come with a back pain, but the issue is at the organ level. So this is where we can actually trace the whole thing. Then, certain points are being applied, certain herbs are being given, certain food habits are being told, which foods you're. Some customization has to happen because based on the person's feedback, we look at the spine, not only the spine, also the score on a monthly basis. What are the home cares we have to take care? And we print this report. Because I learned from Osho. So Dalai Lama came to and he gave some words, so you can read through it. And then this is your organ charts, where you are, what is less, what is more. And then we give an explanation what lung excessive means, right? You're not breathing properly, you may have asthma, you're shortage of breath, and all those things. What are causes of the emotional? So every organ report has been created, your energy level, where you are, what is happening to you, why it is low, explained. The imbalance has been shown through yin and yang, and then what is causing it, what hour of time, what new practices, how you create a life change to balance this thing, chart from that perspective, your overall score, the inflammation in the spine, and what are the dietary recommendations you should be taking care of, whatever herbs you have to do, and all other things, we walk you through from that perspective. So this is a holistic approach to bring you back to your health from that perspective. So this is what I was saying, we create a report, we apply certain mechanisms, acupuncture in the ear, in the body, in the back. We do cupping, we provide mox aversion, we measure the electricity flow in the body, in the ear, where the stagnation is, and then we apply the needles and provide the right hertz electricity to those points. Another thing, if you really look at the teeth, let me see if I can make it big. And the ears, right? Look at this way. Look at the color code. Gallbladder and lung, right? 14, 15, 28, and 29. These are the points on the ear. So somebody came to me, let me give you an example. And they lost these two teeth, right? And I asked them, what is the filling in here? He said, oh, we have a what do you call, they drill a hole, what you call those things? Root canal, they have a root canal in there, but the filling is of mercury. They come from other country, right? I said, okay, go get a hologram done on your teeth. Let me see it. And we work with the dentist. We say, and he said, basically, there's a lot of infection in there. This has to be removed and this has to be sealed. They seal this thing, the gallbladder problem gone away. Meanwhile, we were applying 0.27 as a way to retain it. So think about this way. If you're applying voltage or providing energy in your body skin retains it. But certain parts like your teeth, your scars on your body, your amputation may leak that energy. So we not only provide the energy in you, we lock where it's going to leak. So we have to work with your physician, we have to work with your dentist, we have to work with your ERT doctors to help you. And also, like most of the time, what we find is that your hemoglobin is low, your B12 is really low, vitamin C we don't eat, like body doesn't produce, so we have to create it. So in that case, working with the neuropaths and your family doctors, we may get you a drip um, to get the B12 high, or get an injection, or get you tablets. So there's a supplementation there, there's acupuncture there is a cupping there, there's a moxibustion, there's trying to, so, and we measure it. It's not we just say it. On a monthly basis, this chart has been, we try to improve your health. So some of you join currently, but I'll send you this recording. If you have a heart problem, artery problems, or if you had a cancer, the reason for that whole thing is that your voltage is very low, or your body is more on the pH from 0 to 7. You're 3 to 7. That's where this whole thing happens. So even if you're recovered from cancer, even if you have recovered from the heart attack, or your arteries are open, getting the right voltage maintains on a monthly basis will make sure that you will never get the cancer again, or the heart attack again, or the arteries get blocked, or your liver fails. These are the key issues we are seeing in Canada today. So the negative charge is, if you really look at this is a pH of 0 to 7, this is 7, and 7 to 14, right? So we want to bring you somewhere in this area from 7 to 7.8 or 7.9. But the measurements by pH is almost impossible, and we can do that using the electricity as a ways to do it. So this is for a cancer patient. This is a case study. It's been published in National Cancer Institute. A cancer is given a patient with a post chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is a way to kill those cells, but it kills so many things, other things. What we can do at the same time is we can provide stomach 36, spleen 6, CV12, and PC6. These are the points which actually eliminates or slow downs the spread of the cancer. A modality is a G680 with the depression, tense waves. This is like electric current. It's a tense wave is like a pad you apply on the body, and you apply a current. You must have seen that one. So duration 30 minutes once daily, 5 days a week. This is actually in the hospital, with intervals of 2 days between the course. 4 courses already administered. Average 5 to 10% increase the substance of the T cells. T cells are very important. If even 2% are increasing, that really slows down the cancer pain. The cancer in itself is very hell, but cancer pain is way more. And you will soon go to most of the Canadian doctors, they give morphine. This is not the treatment. They're just numbing it. We need to bring the pain down. And just giving a 30 minutes treatment using a very minute electric voltage, which patient doesn't even feel it. And if they don't want to put the needle, we can put a band on it, right? Or a pad on it, and pass the electricity to them. There was no control group of comparisons, but the person was able to sleep, relieve. So there are many case studies. Headaches are big issues, right? Sciatica is another issue. This is providing treatment through the ear if somebody's arm, like mostly in diabetes, blood sugar problems, people lose their toes, their legs, their arms. So this treatment is provided through the ear to help them to recover. So in a closure, what I will do is I will say is, you come and if you have certain concern, or your loved ones are going through some pain or issues, or you care about somebody and you want to make sure that they never get, your parents, your brother or sister who have gone through these issues, we can help them, we can help you understand how to use this as a mechanism to maintain and improve and become more healthy. But healing using acupuncture is one thing, but we also do meditations. We also do, as a group, as Sangha, we work together, because that also heals. Because if somebody's energy is really high and other person is low, coming to the Sangha really helps you to get out of the negativity and stuff like that. In this case, so you can benefit from this thing. What we're trying to do is, if you take certain treatments, we will give you the free diagnostic, which is very expensive reporting structure. It costs a lot in the healthcare system, but we want to give it free. Even if you don't use it, like mostly you will use it, but you will know where you are, what are the issues you have, or what are the diseases you may get in the future. We can tell you, and then taking right precaution, right exercise, right breathing, right meditation, right yoga, or whatever exercises you do, the right mindset. This will help you to either reduce the impact or totally eliminate from that whole perspective. So I will now, I think this is the end, but if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Feel free to ask. First of all, was this helpful to you or not? If yes, what type of questions you would like to ask, or you want to discuss, or how you explain to others? If you have any concern, you let me know.
It's lots to digest, Parminder. It's lots of information.
Yeah. So the information, so let's make it simple, Ma.
Yeah. No, I understand, because I'm also reading books, but still it's very thorough and very clear from you, but still for us, for me, it's a little bit, like quite a bit information. So, but thank you so much.
Sure, thank you, Ma. And if you have any other questions or something, feel free to reach.
Yeah, I will ask.
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
I can answer this question.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
I've been getting treatment from Parminder for a while, and I can vouch and say that what he has explained, it works. My energy level, my healing from inside, plus also doing the meditation, it has worked wonders. So if there's any concerns you have, any sort of health issues, you cannot go wrong with this type of healing. There's no, you're not going to have any other adverse reactions or anything like that that you would get from taking medications. You take a medication for cholesterol, you're going to develop another disease. Instead of harming your body through taking medications, this, in my opinion, and I'm proof of it, it is the best way to get your life back in a healthy, spiritual, healing way.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So what I want to do is, when I write this report, so Ma, Balbir Ma, just be with me on this one. This will help you to understand. So okay. There are many places where you can find explanation about acupuncture, Chinese Oriental medicine, etc. This is where Dalai Lama came to Pune at Osho Ashram. And this is his words. I would like to present to you the understanding of Osho, an enlightened master who is working with all the possibility to help humanity overcome a difficult phase in developing consciousness. So Bhagwan Osho's work was always to build the consciousness, be aware, be mindful, so that you can take care of yourself. Acupuncture is utterly Eastern. So when you approach the Eastern science with a Western mind, you miss many things. The whole approach is different. It is methodological, it's logical, it's analytical. That's the West, right? And the Eastern science are not really science, but art. The whole thing depends on whether you can shift your energy from the intellect to the intuitive, whether you can shift from the male to female, from yang to yin, Can you become passive and receptive? Only then these things works. So coming to an acupuncturist or Eastern medicine, first you have to go there as a devotion, as this will work for me. If you're questioning too much, then this energy will not flow. And who is stopping? You are stopping. The healer is trying to give it to you, but you are not willing to take it. Otherwise, you will learn all about acupuncture. It will not be acupuncture at all. You will know all about it, but not it. And sometimes it becomes that a person who knows much about it, knows it, but then it's it's an insight to it. When you come to a TCM doctor or a healer, the disease is not important. The patient is important, which is totally opposite to Western way of doing the medicine. Because it is the patient who is carrying the disease. The cause is the patient. The disease is only a symptom. You can change the system and another system will come up. You can force this disease by drugs. You can stop its expression, but the disease will assert itself somewhere else and with more danger, with more force, with more vigilance. The next disease will be more difficult to tackle than the first one. You drug it, but then the third disease will be even more difficult. Acupuncture deals with the cause. And how can you get to the cause? Reason cannot be the cause. It is only to tackle the effect. Only meditation can get to that cause. So acupuncture will feel the patient. He will forget the knowledge. He will just try to get in tune with the patient. He will feel the rapport. He will start feeling the bridge with the patient. So when you go to an acupuncturist or any healing modalities from the East, first you have to see that he is a meditator, he has a healing powers. Because just putting a needle in the skin is not going to cure you. This person has worked a lot. He has done a lot of worship. He has done a lot of prayers. He has done a lot of meditation. He has given so much in seva. That energy flows into to make this thing happen. But the West doesn't understand, so we need to show them using some modalities. That's why we do this diagnostics, which is the electric current. So we are balancing, you're carrying this disease, but this is how I'm going to heal you. But you have to learn to start healing yourself. And we show the path to heal, path to take care, path to build faith, path to be in devotion, path to be in seva, path to be a good conscious soul, to be compassionate, to be loving, to be caring. All the good qualities of humanity is being taught in this process. So it's not just taking the disease away, but giving you the right path, the purpose you have come into this body, so you can achieve it and you can reach your destination, why this body was given to you. I hope that makes sense.
Hanji, I like to add something, or I would request Jazz too, if she would like to share first her experience. She got acupuncture done with you, Swamiji.
Okay, sure.
Jazz, are you there?
I'm here, yes. It was a very relaxing experience for me. So I had done it with in combination with your facial, and yes, I loved it. Very relaxing, and also I think I remember having some release as well, and what I released I don't know, but I trust that whatever it was meant for me. So, and I want to say thank you for the presentation today too. I'm sorry I got tied up with work and so I didn't hear all of it, but I heard you say that you use cupping as well, and so can you share a little bit more about cupping?
Yes. So let me create something. Cupping actually started in Middle East. We used to call wet cupping.
Mm-hmm.
And even
I understand there's a wet and a dry, and so I don't really understand the concept.
Okay, so I'll bring some pictures and then explain. So mostly in the West, we do this way. If it shows up. No. Let's take this one, right? So what we do is we create a negative, low pressure. We put the cupping in there and the skin starts getting red, right? Or purple and all those things. So what happens is there's pathogens in the body. So when we put the low pressure in there, the pathogens start getting extracted to the skin. So you can start releasing the toxins from your body. So you can see these are even, this become really famous. That swimmer who was in Olympics, who got the gold medal, and then he had a lot of the circles in their back. The marks, yeah. Exactly. After that, it actually took off really well.
So are you saying that the marks are because there's toxins?
It is a pair of toxins which are hiding it under the skin. So we start pulling it out, right? But it's called hijma, which is basically what we do is we apply the pressure here, right? This is not done in the West nowadays, but in the East it's been done. And then what you do is once you apply this thing, then I release the cups. And then we put little bit needles, right? Like little puncture the skin, right? And then apply the pressure again. When we apply the pressure again, it's not that it looks too much because there's a concave skin in there. So the blood start getting accommodated on the side, right? And it's sort of a bloodletting. And the blood is being taken out from the body, the toxin. So if somebody has a really back pain or acne or all those things, this is to be taken out. And this was done as a during Ramzan, right? This was a practice in Middle East that they used to do the bloodletting because they want to take all the negative toxins out. So I'll give you one example. In the Middle East, they eat too much sugar, like 10 times more sugar than even India, right? Because their sweets, if you look at the Middle East sweets, they're very, very sweet, right? And they have no diabetes and no cancer because they fast for 1 year. And during this fasting, they let the hijama done, right? This bloodletting done. So this really helps to heal them. So I also do it here, and people have really, I think Jess Handel has done it. They can talk about it, but we don't do bloodletting in that one. We do only bloodletting for the veins, right? If your veins are in your legs, you're getting spider veins and all those things, then we actually open it because your blood is not flowing the heart. So there's a certain mechanism which is approved by Health Canada. We do that one. But this type of work we don't do in the West. We are not.
So is it good for like lymph nodes, like toxins in your lymph nodes?
Yes, exactly. So what I suggest people who come to me like from India and from Pakistan, from Middle East, like I need to do it. We say we can do it, but we are not authorized. So the best thing for you to do is to donate the blood. Why to spill and throw it out? You donate the blood every 6 months, or during that time, go and donate the blood. Even donating the blood, right, really takes the toxins out from your body.
Oh,
because
really?
what
I
happens?
didn't know that.
Yeah, yes. So there's a research paper. I will send it to you. Anybody who gives blood every 6 months, right, which is a good cause, very good cause, will never get a heart attack. Why? Because, and if you really look at it, females live longer than men, right? Why? Because female go through the menses, right? It's sort of a bloodletting too, because they refresh their blood. So it's not that the woman lives longer because they're woman. The woman lives longer because they release their blood. So if men has to live longer, they either have to go donate the blood or we have to do bloodletting. We won't do the cupping, but we can make you stand up and puncture the nerve behind the knee or something and take. And what happens is, like I will explain you, the first blood comes like a black blood, right? And this is how we learn. We keep seeing it. And the moment the black blood turns into red, we stop it because the toxin blood has come out. And the body pushes those toxins out, actually. This is so smart, this whole body is, right? It will push it out. Even if I put a needle and put electric current on, say, on the arm, right? But your hip really needs that current. The body knows how to transfer that current to it. So body is very smart. So if we can electrify our body if we can do cupping, and there's a moxa version. Moxa version is very old. It goes 5,000 years back, when the monks used to go to the mountains, because most of the monasteries were on the mountains. And climbing on the mountains is not easy in Himalayas, right? It's very steep hills. So people used to get really tired. So the moxa is a herb. It's called spirit herb, which takes the pain and pushes it out. Like here we have sage and all those things. In Himalayas, we have a moxa. It's been used by Hindus. It was used by Islam. It's been used by Buddhists. Almost any religious modality has used that one, right? It has the ability to suck the pain and throw it out. So mostly people when you go to monasteries or temples or mosques, they go in a couples, right? Like two people have go, because otherwise the animals and all those things, somebody has to watch, somebody sleeping. But the key responsibility was that somebody will not be with another person if they don't know how to do moxa version, because moxa will take the pain out. So moxa version is very important. Cupping is very important. Needling is very important. Acupuncture is very important. And being an electronics engineer, I know exactly. I've been getting trained under German teacher, same teacher who reversed the AIDS. I'm his student. So he's teaching me every frequency for every disease. So we can put the needle, we can put the right frequency, and the treatment is only for 15 to 20 minutes. We don't go more than 20 minutes, right? But our treatment is for 1 hour. In this 1 hour, what we are doing is either we're giving you massage, or we are giving cupping, we are giving moxa. What other modalities is required to get it done? And I believe, I'm doing for my mom. She used to have a lot of pain, and she says, Parminder, I don't know what else you do, but you have taken my pain away. I don't have those pains anymore.
Sweet.
Yes. So if your loved ones have a lot of pain and some issues, or like if somebody had a cancer, right? They're very prone to get it back again. So we can electrify your blood to make sure that it never comes, because we'll shift it towards alkaline blood, right? In alkaline blood, the cancer cannot happen. So these are like precautioners and all those things. So if somebody's mom has gone through a heart attack, somebody's mom has gone to a cancer or something, and you really care for them, and having one appointment is really great. And I'm going through. We will be covering this under insurance from November to, right? Your health insurance system too will cover that whole thing. But then for mom, it maybe not. So I think if you really love somebody, care somebody, and you want that person to be healthy, please visit us. We'll make sure that. And there's a lady who has 12 years. She was having huge headaches, and in 3 treatments, her headaches have gone away. It's just releasing the pathogens, releasing the toxins out of the body.
Toxins, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Thanks a lot, Jess. Anybody else has a question? This is written as the rituals. The Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, used to get his blood let using hijama. This was a practice by Guru Gobind Singh for their soldiers when they used to have pain in the body. Buddhists do it. In India, the Shivaites who live in Kashmir used to do this thing. So these is a very old tradition, like 5,000, 6,000 years, just lost in between. And now it's coming back thanks to Canada, because TCM is part of the medical science now. So, and it's covered under medical MSP. So it's a good thing. BC is doing a very good thing, enabling all these modalities to help in conjunction with other treatments we get from hospitals or other physicians.
Is it covered under MSP or extended benefits?
It's covered in extended benefits. MSP, I think, like if you look at Manitoba, Saskatchewan, they give like $15 per or $25 per treatment. I think in BC, you have to be in the lower income to attain MSP thing, right? That's so you have to get extended, whatever they call it, right? that to enable it.
And how the electroacupuncture is different than the regular acupuncture, because I used to go to the acupuncturist.
Yeah. So yeah, it is different.
For my knee pain. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what is happening when we put a needle, right, in your knee?
Yeah.
It punches the skin so that the energy from the earth start moving in. So it helps you, right, from that perspective. But this being an engineer, right? So I now know to put the voltmeter electricity, like say minus 150 millivolts, right? But for the knee, because your cartilage has gone down, that's why the pain is, or there's a nerve pain. Like we'll identify using a diagnostics, and then we'll give the right frequency with the right current. This is my expertise, which not many acupuncturists have it. Being an engineer, I am coming with using electricity as a medicine in conjunction with the acupuncture. So it's not just acupuncture, but the treatment is covered under acupuncture, extended healthcare, and MSV.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for asking more question. If somebody has a question, please ask, because others have that too. And you're asking a question helps others too, right? So if you don't have, what I will do is I will create this recording and give it to Noor. Noor is helps us at Kamal's Day Spa. And if anybody needs it, she can send it to you.
And before we wrap up, I'd like to share a little bit of my experience. And I like to say thank you, Jas Ondal and Jas Chima, for your feedback. That is very nice. And the other thing is, I'm coming from, my background was beauty, health, and wellness. It's an Ayurvedic. I feel TCM and Ayurvedic, as Swamiji said, is very similar. To me, the way I see, because body has those 5 elements like air, fire, water. If we see that after the vaccinations, I found through my experiences, people are complaining about skin diseases, eczema, psoriasis, and many other issues. Even their head has molluscus. I found acupuncture really helping, because Swamiji had a background from like master's in technology. Then he's incorporating his technology into the acupuncture. That's make him special, as he mentioned. And second, I found because with the vaccination, even we have to have it done, we don't have a choice, but body will take time to adjust and adopt all the vaccination, because we have a positive and negative side effects that lots of people are experiencing. Reproductive system has issues now, more like their period have problems, or their mental health. They feel like very angry because body has excessive heat. As Parminder Swamiji suggested, blood letting helping, because we are letting the blood go, that I feel with my intuitive mind and whatever my study is, that releasing the heat from the organs. I found it's very relaxing. People feel their eczema gets better, their like headaches gets better, and their period gets better. All those things I see that way, from maybe it's balancing more hormones in the body. And for myself, I feel like my headaches gets better. Otherwise, I get a non-stop headaches after the vaccination. That's my personal experience. And I had experience with the cupping. I really like it because it's not a painful, looks painful, but it's pretty actually relaxing to me. Even moxa, it was very relaxing. It was a little bit heat, but it was good for myself. That's how I feel. Acupuncture helps releasing the heat in the body. That's how I can.
Yes, especially after the COVID, because if you really look at vaccine, what it is a vaccine. Vaccine means a poison has been pushed into the body so you can create the antibodies to fight with it. But it creates other symptoms which were hiding in your body, maybe in the liver, in the spleen, in the kidneys, and then like I have treated some people who came to after the vaccination. They have huge constipation issues, bladder issues, right? So So there's no end to this thing. And the treatment was, give them relaxation, do little bit bloodletting, give them cupping, tell them to relax, breathe properly, everything will be fine. Give self-positive, feedback to yourself, everything will work. And then showing that how these things are being not new, right? This is not like Western medicine is only 200, 300 years old. But if you look at, we are talking 6,000, 7,000 years old, and it's constantly been done, and no side effects, nothing. And then changing the eat habits, changing the little bit lifestyle, everything comes to normal. And self-care, love, compassion, why not we try that, right? Give it a chance. That's all I'm asking.